Okay, the weirdest fear I've ever heard of is a fear of squirrels. Seriously. Like, they're these furry little animals, they couldn't hurt a chipmunk. If you're scared of squirrels, you're a wuss.
Who has a fear of squirrels?
Okay, I used to think that the weirdest fear I'd ever heard of was being afraid of squirrels, but that was until the experience I had last week. We were just standing there and the squirrel comes up and we tried to chase him away and it wouldn't go away. So the one guy started teasing it. He had a leaf and he bent down and pulled it out to the squirrel, and the squirrel would go and try to take it from him. So the squirrel got really mad and fed up with him. So it jumped up and had him grabbed onto his sleeve and was hanging from the sweater. And the guy's waving his arm around. He's like, ah! And he finally shook the squirrel off, and it lands on the ground, and it just sits there staring at us.
Maybe some of you ladies have it as a fear to ask Dave here for his phone number. You should really get on that, he's single, ladies.
I've recently learned that I have two, not one, but two friends who are afraid of ketchup. Apparently one said he had some childhood experience and he can't even really grab the bottles. I don't know, and I mean, maybe they think it's blood. I don't even know. I can't even imagine why you'd be afraid of ketchup.
So, the weirdest phobia that I've ever heard of is the fear of stilts. Heather, don't you think that's weird?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
The fear of clothes. Some would swear that I have this phobia, as I'm seen often with my shirt off. That's all I'll say.
Things on stilts. They could fall on you. Like, what if it landed on you?
The weirdest fear that I ever heard of was when I was doing this group assignment. I was taking notes and I pulled out a piece of paper to write on and a pen. And I started writing, and this girl that was in the group freaks out. She goes, "Whoa! Put that pen down." And she hands me a black pen, and her fear was the fear of blue pens. She would not write anything or even read anything in blue pen.
What most people don't know is that my good friend Dave here and I sit around thinking of things to say on the speaker's corner at embassy. And so one time we were sitting around and we were in my living room and the coffee table just spontaneously combusted into flames.
Oh!
And we screamed and there was fire, and death. The table's on fire, the fire trucks came, right? And the way that my house is situated, there's a fire hydrant on the lawn in between the two houses. And I thought, what happens if the fire trucks come and I'm parked by the fire hydrant in the driveway? Because you know, you can't park by fire hydrants, there's a law, right? And I'm like, but it's in my driveway, I can't, where can I park? It's right there. So I've had this fear of parking in my driveway because if the fire truck comes. So I think it's fire hydritis phobia.
So the weirdest fear that I've heard of is papophobia, which is fear of the Catholic Church and the Pope.
I read this in a Fireside comic, but anatophobia, the fear that somewhere a duck is watching you, I'd say it's pretty scary myself.
A very scary fear is of belly buttons, because they're gross, and they get lint in them, and
the lint is really frightening.
And sometimes they can go really deep and you don't know how far your finger or your hand or your arm
might disappear. Like, it's happened.
See, it's like
I swear.
they sneak up on you. It's like,
I'm not kidding.
I had a hard time coming up with a weird phobia, but I was thinking, what is it that I'm really afraid of? It hit me that as I was thinking about it, I was getting afraid of going and talking at Speaker's Corner. It's like a phobia to go to talk at Speaker's Corner. That's, you know? Speaker's Corner phobia.
I've been standing outside asking people, actually not letting anyone buy until they say that they're going to go in the booth, but then they just go by anyway. Apparently a lot of people are afraid of girls holding signs, chasing after them, saying, "Come into the booth." Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
Speaker Corner phobia.
I have a friend who, if there's not enough milk to fill a whole glass, she won't put a brand new container in that has the same expiry date, that is of the same milk, like 2% milk. She won't put the same ones into the same glass because she thinks it's weird. She'll just dump it out and then get the brand new one. I don't get it.
Okay, I have a really big fear of yellow lights. So I don't know what happens, but every time I come on the street, the light is always yellow or red, never green. So I usually push myself, but I try to be as careful as possible. But yes, that's my greatest fear.